Hi everyone, welcome to gayuias&tech, proudly powered by Larry Cloud Solutions, your one-step platform for UPSC preparation and software technical learning. Before we jump into books and bullet points, I want to ask you something. Have you ever helped someone filling out a government form? Or have you ever stood up against something unfair in your school, neighborhood, or home? Or maybe just thought, why is why is our area not getting cleaning drinking water while another place does? If yes, you have already taken the first step to becoming a civil servant. Now, what exactly the UPSC is looking for? You see, UPSC is not just an exam. It is a journey to understand India, its people, its problems, and its possibilities. It's not about mugging up facts. It's about connecting deeply with society and learning how to bring change. And to understand something as big as a country, let's start with a something family, small family, something well we will understand. Here, think of this. The father in the family makes rules, takes key decisions, protects his home. The mother nurtures values, manages resources, takes care of traditions and emotions. The children, curious learners, always asking, where do we come from? Why are we doing this? What does it mean? The house, that is our country. The neighbors and relatives, well, those are the other nation relationships matter. This is not just storytelling. This is exactly what the UPSC syllabus is all about. What is UPSC really looking for? According to me, sorry, according to me, and I want you to remember this clearly, UPSC is looking for candidates who can implement day to day social responsibilities. They don't want only toppers, they want thinkers, they want doers, they want public minded leaders. Let me give you two examples of what I mean. Example one, social justice in real life, that is, your neighbor's doctor wants to study but doesn't have money. You guide her father to a government scholarship, help them apply, and she gets admission. That is not just kindness, that is what UPSC calls social justice awareness and an a government. For example, your local lake is dying, so you create an Instagram page, gather 10 friends, clean it up, and get local media to report it. That is not just volunteering, that is a public service, e-governance, environmental ethics, and real leadership. And that's the approach we are going to take today. We all go through every subject in the UPSC syllabus, from history to polity, from ethics to environment, and we all show how they are all hidden inside our homes, our families, and our lives. If you understand our family, you already understand the spirit of civil services. Let's begin decoding the UPSC syllabus through a story that lives in our heart. Ancient Indian history, GS Paper 1. Where did we come from? Understanding an ancient India through family origins. Let's go back not 50 years, not 100 years, but 5,000 years. Imagine a curious son asking his grandfather, where did we come from, Dadaji? Who were our earliest ancestors? What were their houses like? Did they eat like us, worship like us? The grandfather smiles and opens the oldest photo album the family owns. Only this one is not printed on paper but buried in the soil of Mohenjo-daro, printed on cave walls in Bhimbetka, and carved into a stone pillars in Ashoka Empire. According to the UPSC syllabus under GS paper 1, you must study prehistoric age, prehistoric period and stone ages. And after studying this prehistoric age, we are going to study the Indus Valley civilization. Late after that Indus Valley civilization, the Vedic period, early Vedic period and the later Vedic period. After studying this Vedic periods, we are going to study like Mahajanapadas and Buddhism and Jainism, and after that empire, Mauryan empire, Mauryan empires and post-Mauryan kingdoms, Gupta empire and Ashavardhana, science, technology, art and culture in ancient industry, ancient India, sorry. To remember this syllabus, there is a mnemonic that is from caves to cities, hunts to empires, silence to enlightenment, unity to golden light, pens to temples. India walked through time like a poem unfolding. Let's decode each with a story thread. Prehistoric period. The earliest ancestors, Dadaji says, our first ancestor lived in caves. They did not know farming or writing, but they painted, they hunted, they discovered fire, and started building the tools. What exactly the PhD wants you to know here is the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic periods and the rock shelters and evolution of tools, food habits, and shelters. Here, the UPSC is exactly going to test you that how did the human society evolve before the cities and kingdoms are evolved. The- that is about the prehistoric period. And coming to the Indus Valley civilization, now go to the story. Now Dadaji points to the earliest apartment complex, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. They had planned cities, underground drainage, public baths, and even seals with the animals. It's like discovering our ancestors lived in smart cities 5,000 years ago. Here, the UPSC wants you to know is the major cities of Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, etc., town planning and trade, art and religion, and why it was declined. The decline theories on Indus Valley civilizations. What exactly the UPSC is asking is here, what made this civilization so advanced yet mysterious? In Vedic, coming to the third one, the Vedic period, rise of rituals and society. The grandson says, Dadaji, when did we start doing pujas and chanting mantras? He replies, that began with the Vedic age, when Aryans composed the Rig Veda, worshipped nature, and developed Varna social rules. UPSC wants you to know is here early Vedic tribal society cattle economy. After early Vedic, later Vedic kingship rituals caste system came, and later on this Vedas, Brahmanas, Upanishads, and iron use agriculture and urbanization. Here, UPSC is asking that how did religion, society, and politics began shaping our identity? Then, coming after completion of the Vedic period, we're going to come the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. Now, the son hears of two great teachers, Mahavira and Buddha. They taught people to question rituals, to live some simple moral lives, and seek truth through meditation and non-violence. Here, exactly what the UPSC wants you to know is the causes of religious reforms, core philosophies of Buddhism and Jainism, four noble truths, eightfold path, and three jewels spread through Ashoka and monks to Persia. UPSC is going to ask here is why did people turn away from Vedic rituals? What made Buddha's message universal? And coming to after studying this Buddhism and Jainism, we are going to study on Mauryan Empire, India's first great empire. Father says our ancestors were once ruled by Chandragupta Maurya, and his grandson Ashoka gave up war after Kalinga and embraced peace. Here, exactly the UPSC wants you to know is the Mauryan administration's Ardhashastra, Ashoka's Dhamma and inscriptions, trade, economy, and society. What they were asking is what made the Mauryan Empire so strong and Ashoka so respected? After completion of the Mauryan kingdom, we are going to study about the post-Mauryan kingdoms and then Gupta age. Later came Indo-Greek Kushanas, Satavahanas. They traded with Rome, built art in Gandhara and Madura. Then came the Guptas, the golden age of science, literature, and mathematics. UPSC wants you to know is Gupta Empire, Samudragupta and Chandragupta too, achievements of an Aryabhatta and Kalidasa, Ajanta paintings and Nalanda University, social and economic life, etc. UPSC asks what made Gupta period a classical age. And after completion of this Gupta era, we are going to study the science tech culture in ancient India. Our ancestors knew zero, performed surgeries, and built temples without missions. UPSC wants you to know Iron Pillar of Delhi, no rest, and Charaka medicine, step walls, temples, astronomy, etc. UPSC asks, what does this tell us about India's intellectual legacy? Here, so My dear candidates, our journey through ancient history is not just about kings and battles. It's about understanding our roots, identity, and how Indian civilizational spirit evolved over thousands of years. You like a son, just like a son learning about his forefathers to know who he is. You, as future civil servant, must know our nation's past to serve its future.